Welcome to Buddhist service for this week. Even many things going on, you still make it. Like if you sit far away from each other, at least 6 feet. This month is February. When come to February, many people mention about love, especially for those who born in the West. Talk about Valentine's Day. The story came from Saint Valentine. Story of love, interesting. You can find out, you can read about it. But today I would like to talk about some kind of love. In Buddhist perspective, the Buddha, he did not use the word love actually. Pali word said, Nati atta samang pemang. That means self-love is the best love. Self-love is the best love. What does it mean by this? The Buddha mentioned about something that promotes people to be selfish. You can think about that. But in this point, the Buddha talking about love came from within. Each individual doesn't know how to love oneself. Even a million words, he or she said, I love you. That word is hard to be trusted. If that person still does something crazy for himself, for herself, and then he or she seek for love from others to fulfill what he or she needs, never enough. Never enough. Because sometimes when someone say, I love you, the Buddha encourages listener to think about what the lesson behind that. Even before we speak, before we say that, what the lesson behind that. It's not just say because of social custom, greeting, try to pressure, try to make people to feel good about, but do not come from inside. Can be hurt afterward if that person cannot follow the word, what he or she said. In other way, the Buddha mentioned about metta and karuna. Metta can be translated into English like loving kindness. When you love someone, learn how to be kind to that person. Begin with yourself. Learn how to be kind to yourself. If you still beat yourself up, if you still complain about yourself or hate yourself, learn how to reset your mind and look at yourself in other way. Because whatever you have, you can share with people. You cannot share something that you don't have to people. For example, someone asked me for money. If I don't have money, how can I give? Can I borrow someone? Can be sometime. But if I don't have money to pay back, I'm gonna get trouble. So anytime when anyone of us, each of us, saying I love you, learn how to love ourselves too. Because if we learn how to love ourselves properly, and then we can love people appropriately. Sometimes love don't need to have back in return. Loving kindness as the Buddha gives to people. Just expect people to be happy, healthy, safe. That's it. And then the second one, the Buddha talking about karuna, translate into English like compassion. I give definition by myself. That's what I feel this way. Compassion means love with understanding, as who he is, who she is. Do not mean you love someone, you have to change them. Because they may change for you for some temporary time, just some certain time, and then after that, when live together, the true thing will come up. If that person doesn't want to change, if you force her or him to change, it's going to be argument someday, some point. So, loving kindness and compassion can begin with oneself and share with one another. By this way, don't need to be like a boyfriend, girlfriend, or spouse only, but can be brother, sister, can be parent and children, can be co-worker, can be friend. These have different level. So if we learn how to love ourselves first as the best love, and then we share our love to people, sometimes that person even receive love from us, but they don't have enough energy to pay back by their action, because they still struggling with their own love. So if we can develop our self-love and share with people, even that person won't give us back, we not feel bad about that. So the way how to love without condition is called unconditional love. We have learned, every one of us have learned from our parents. The parent don't know yet who gonna come to be a kid, their child. Can be boy or can be girl, until the certain time, and then they will know, oh, I will have a boy, I will have a girl. But I have to wait until time that I gonna know my boy or my girl gonna come up with some that most parents expect. Do not come with like a disability or missing some parts of the body. So it's not easy to have a child. That means it's not easy to be born as a human being. So when we have our birth, when we were born, learn how to love ourselves and maintain our life as same as our parents who love us without any condition, mostly like that, except some those who may not ready to be a parent, but just have a kid with some accident or with some like an unexpected situation because they lose their control, and then they're not ready to respond, they're not ready to be a daddy or mommy or parent. Sometimes we have to learn, even we come from broken family. If we understand the nature of love with loving kindness and compassion, we can make a better family. I don't want to use the word perfect family, because no family perfect, nothing perfect in the world. Things change all the time. Everything is subject to change. Everything is impermanent. In this case, we come here. I would like to invite you to reflect on it. So we have limit of our time to talk about that. But if you want to talk about that later on, I'm still available for you all. There's things that you have been together, we have been together before. We never know because the time in the past, 5 years, 10 years, 50 years, 100 years, or previous life, the Buddha mentioned about reincarnation. We born several times, not just only one time we born and then we die. So in Buddhist perspective, the Buddha talking about we are going to reborn again until we cut off, break down, or end up our desire or cravings, want to be born again. It's some kind of this is enough for me. I don't want to reborn again. I don't want to have any attachment or relate to anybody. I want to be free. I don't want to come back again. So something that's way in the Buddha word say Nibbana, or in Sanskrit Nirvana, or liberation. So when we still have desire, when we still want to have this, want to have that, want to have something, just use our desire in appropriate way to support our meaningful life. Thank you very much for your time today. We are going to do a walking meditation for 5 minutes, and then we do sitting meditation another 5 minutes, and then we close out for today.